Chosen one, what I'm about to reveal will completely change your life from this exact moment. The loneliness that has weighed on your shoulders, that feeling of emptiness that no one understands, is ending right now. Can you feel the change in the air? Can you sense that something extraordinary is happening around you at this moment? The divine presence is flooding every space in your life, filling even the darkest corners where loneliness used to hide. You will never walk alone again. You will experience a companionship that transcends any human relationship. Will you continue watching or let the greatest transformation of your life pass by? Pause now, like this video, subscribe to the channel and comment "presence" to activate this blessing immediately. I need you to listen to me with complete attention because the end of your loneliness begins now. Chosen one, the divine presence is now filling every space in your life, including those places that no one else can understand or reach. That emptiness you felt in your chest when waking up in the morning, that feeling of isolation even when surrounded by people, is being completely filled at this moment by a powerful and transformative presence. For a long time you tried to fill that void with temporary relationships, with entertainment, with excessive work, with material achievements. But none of this was able to satisfy the deep need for presence that exists within you. The emptiness persisted, the loneliness remained, and you wondered if you would ever be truly understood in your essence. The truth I'm revealing now is that this void wasn't created to be filled with temporary things. This space within you was specifically designed to be occupied by a divine presence, by a love that transcends human understanding. And at this exact moment, that presence is flowing into you like a powerful current. You no longer need to try to explain your loneliness to people who don't understand. You no longer need to feel strange or different because of this emptiness you've carried for so long. The presence reaching you now knows every detail of your being, every corner of your soul, every need of your heart. What no one understands about your loneliness, about your internal struggles, about your moments of silent despair, this divine presence not only understands, but is already healing. As you hear these words, the presence is moving within you, reaching the deepest and most hidden places of your being. This is a moment of manifestation, a moment of fulfillment of promises. All the prayers you made in the silence of your pain, all the cries that came from your heart when no one was looking, are being answered at this exact moment through this presence that surrounds you. Can you feel it? Can you perceive how something is changing inside you as you hear these words? This is not coincidence. You were guided here because the time has come for your loneliness to be completely transformed by the divine presence. This presence is reaching areas of your life that you didn't even know needed to be filled. Areas from your childhood where rejection left marks, moments from your adolescence where abandonment created wounds, experiences from your adult life where misunderstanding generated isolation. Every space is being flooded now. The manifestation of this presence doesn't depend on your perfection. It doesn't depend on your merits or how hard you've tried. This is a divine action that transcends your limitations. Even in moments when you pulled away, even when you doubted, even when you questioned if you would ever be truly understood, the presence never gave up on you. Now, in this moment of celestial alignment, all barriers between you and this divine presence are being broken. The veil that separated is being torn, the communication channel is completely open, and the presence is flowing without impediments into your existence. The emptiness is being filled with indescribable peace. The spaces of loneliness are being occupied by unconditional love. The dark corners of your soul are being illuminated by a light that never goes out. This is the transformation you've waited for throughout your entire life. This is just the beginning. The presence reaching you now will continue to manifest in increasingly deeper areas of your life. Each day, each hour, each minute, you will feel this presence becoming more tangible, more real, more powerful within you. The loneliness that defined you for so long will no longer be part of your identity. The emptiness that seemed impossible to fill will no longer exist. You are being reconfigured, redesigned, transformed by the divine presence that knows every detail of your being. Chosen one, prepare yourself for a new reality that is manifesting in your life from this moment. You will feel a real and constant companionship because the divine presence never leaves your side at any moment, in any circumstance, in any battle. For a long time, you experienced relationships that came and went, people who promised to stay but ended up leaving, friendships that seemed deep but revealed themselves to be superficial in moments of greatest need. And each time someone left, the wound of loneliness deepened even more. But now, a new reality is being established in your life. A companionship that doesn't depend on mood, circumstances, or convenience. A presence that remains constant in moments of joy and in valleys of tears. This presence doesn't abandon you when you fail, doesn't pull away when you doubt, doesn't grow weary when you need support repeatedly. The companionship manifesting in your life now is so real that you'll begin to feel it physically. In moments when you're alone in your room, you'll feel an inexplicable warmth filling the environment. When driving in your car, you'll notice a peace that transcends logic dominating your thoughts. When you wake up in the middle of the night, instead of the weight of loneliness, you'll feel an invisible but undeniably real embrace. This isn't a promise for a distant future. It's not an abstract concept or a philosophical idea. It's a tangible reality that is manifesting now at this exact moment as you receive these words. The divine companionship is becoming so real in your life that it will be impossible to deny or ignore it. You no longer need to depend exclusively on other people to fill your emotional void. You no longer need to cling to toxic relationships for fear of loneliness. You no longer need to accept less than you deserve just to have someone by your side. The divine presence manifesting now gives you the freedom to establish healthy relationships because your deepest need for companionship is already being met. Imagine how your life will be when you wake up every morning with the unshakable certainty that you are not alone. Visualize how your decisions will be different when you have the confidence that there is a constant presence guiding you, protecting you, directing you. Contemplate how your relationships will improve when you are no longer operating from a place of emotional lack. The transformation happening goes far beyond simply not feeling alone. It's a complete recalibration of your being. Your thoughts will become clearer because you'll have a constant dialogue with wisdom that transcends human understanding. Your emotions will become more stable because you'll have the comfort of a presence that calms internal storms. Your decisions will become more accurate because you'll have guidance from one who knows the end from the beginning. This constant companionship will give you a confidence you've never experienced before. You'll enter environments without that social anxiety that always accompanied you. You'll face challenges without the paralyzing fear that used to hold you back. You'll express yourself with an authenticity you always desired but never had the courage to manifest. The loneliness that was your companion for so many years is being replaced by a presence that never disappoints you, never abandons you, never grows tired of loving you. This is such a powerful truth that from the moment you fully accept it, your life will never be the same. You might be wondering, but how can I be sure this presence is real and not just an idea in my mind? The answer will come through your own experience. In the coming days, pay attention to the signs. Notice the moments of inexplicable peace that will arise in the midst of the most chaotic situations. Observe the divine coincidences that will begin to happen with increasing frequency. Feel the warmth in your chest in moments when you would normally feel completely alone. The divine companionship manifesting in your life is not just emotional or spiritual. It will affect all dimensions of your being. Your physical body will experience a new level of health and vitality. Your mind will enjoy unprecedented clarity and focus. Your spirit will vibrate at a frequency of peace and joy that will infect everyone around you. Chosen one, a miracle is happening in your life at this exact moment. The deep pain of isolation you've carried for so long is being completely removed and replaced by a divine intimacy that transcends any human experience. You are not alone and never will be again. That suffocating sensation of being invisible even when surrounded by people. That silent pain of not being truly understood by anyone. That crushing weight of carrying your problems without having anyone to share them with. All of this is being transformed now through a supernatural intimacy that is being poured upon you. For years, you tried to explain this pain to people around you, but words always seemed insufficient. You smiled on the outside while crying on the inside. You were physically present, but emotionally felt millions of miles away. This duality tore you apart daily, deepening the abyss between you and others even further. But now, a new reality is manifesting. The divine intimacy being poured upon you doesn't need words to understand you. It doesn't require explanations or justifications. It doesn't demand that you wear masks or pretend to be who you are not. This intimacy knows you completely, deeply, perfectly, and yet loves you unconditionally. You are experiencing a connection that goes far beyond the superficial, a communication that transcends the limitations of human language. As you hear these words, your spirit is being tuned to a divine frequency, establishing a direct communication channel that no external interference can interrupt. This divine intimacy is healing wounds so deep that you didn't even know they existed. Layers of isolation formed in your childhood, walls of protection you built in adolescence, emotional armor you developed in adult life. Everything is being deconstructed to give way to an authentic and transformative connection. Isolation made you believe that no one could ever understand you completely. It made you doubt your value, your importance, your purpose. It made you question if it would ever be possible to experience that deep connection your heart so longed for. But now, divine intimacy is revealing a powerful truth. You were created for connection. You were designed for intimacy. You were made for communion. Visualize for a moment those secret places in your heart where you kept pains you never shared with anyone are now being visited by a loving presence that brings complete healing. Those thoughts you never dared to verbalize are being perfectly understood without you needing to pronounce a single word. Those dreams you buried for fear of rejection are being resurrected and validated by someone who believes in you more than you believe in yourself. The intimacy being established now in your life is not momentary or conditional. It doesn't depend on your performance or perfection. It doesn't diminish when you fail or question. This is a constant, unshakable, eternal intimacy, a connection that will remain firm in every season of your life, in every battle you face, in every mountain you conquer. You are being invited on a journey of discovery. Each day will be a new opportunity to explore the depths of this divine intimacy. Each morning will bring a new facet of this supernatural connection. Each night will be a moment to reflect on the manifestations of this loving presence that never leaves you. The pain of isolation that once defined your existence is being completely dissolved by the light of divine intimacy. That feeling of being a stranger, of never truly belonging, of always being on the sidelines, observing others' lives, all of this is being replaced by a deep sense of belonging, of acceptance, of genuine connection. You'll notice profound changes in how you relate to yourself and others. Insecurity will give way to confidence. Fear of rejection will be replaced by the certainty of being loved. The desperate need for approval will transform into an unshakable security in your identity. All this because the intimacy you're experiencing now is completely redefining who you are. This is a truth you need to internalize. Isolation was never your destiny. Loneliness was never your purpose. You were created to experience the fullness of divine intimacy, to live in constant communion with a presence that knows you better than you know yourself and loves you without reservations or conditions. The transformation happening is not gradual, it's instantaneous. The moment you accept this truth, the instant you embrace this reality, the exchange is made. Isolation leaves, intimacy enters. Loneliness is removed, communion is established. Pain is healed, joy is restored. This is the miracle happening right now in your life. Chosen one, a restorative power is manifesting in your life at this exact moment. The divine presence enveloping you now has the ability to heal wounds so deep that no human word has ever been able to reach. And this powerful presence is here with you right now. There are pains in your heart that you've never been able to explain, traumas you've carried for years and for which you've never found the right words. Wounds that were opened in your childhood, deepened in your adolescence, and continue bleeding in your adult life, even though no one can see them. You've tried therapy, sought advice, read self-help books, but something always remained untouched, unreached, unhealed. It's because some wounds are so deep that they transcend the capacity of human language. Some pains are so complex that they defy all forms of verbal communication. Some scars are so embedded in your soul that only a divine presence can truly reach them. And that presence is here now, touching exactly those points. As you receive these words, the divine presence is moving like a healing balm into the most painful areas of your existence. Like living water, it's flowing into the deserts of your soul. Like a purifying fire, it's burning the impurities that caused infection in your emotional wounds. Healing is happening right now in real time. You don't need to explain your pain to this presence. You don't need to find the right words or make perfect prayers. You don't even need to identify exactly where the root of the problem is. The presence enveloping you knows every cell of your being, every event in your history, every wound in your soul, and knows exactly how to bring complete healing. This is not a superficial healing that merely masks the symptoms. It's not a temporary relief that will soon give way to the same pain. It's a deep, complete, and permanent restoration that begins at the root and manifests in every aspect of your life. It's a healing that leaves no scars, that completely restores what was broken, that returns what was stolen. Visualize for a moment those areas of your heart that you protected from everyone, those spaces in your mind that you kept locked, those memories you tried to forget, all are being flooded now by a healing light that dissolves darkness. The divine presence knows no barriers, respects no locks, is not intimidated by darkness. It goes exactly where the pain is most intense. You'll begin to notice significant changes in the coming days. Memories that once paralyzed you emotionally will lose their power over you. Triggers that used to lead you to anxiety crises or depressive episodes will no longer have the same effect. Negative thought patterns that accompanied you for decades will begin to dissolve. All this without you needing to do anything beyond remaining enveloped by this presence. This transformation will affect not only your emotional and mental health, but also your relationships, your creativity, your productivity, your spiritual life, and even your physical health. The presence that heals your deepest emotional wounds is the same that restores every aspect of your being, bringing alignment and harmony to all dimensions of your existence. You've tried to find healing in so many places. You've sought answers from so many people. You've experienced so many techniques and methodologies, but nothing has been able to reach that deep pain, that primordial wound, that existential emptiness. It's because that healing was never in a place, a person, or a technique. It was in a presence. And this presence is here now. The healing happening now doesn't require your perfection or your complete understanding. It doesn't depend on your faith being unshakable or your spiritual practices being consistent. This is a sovereign action, a free outpouring, an unconditional manifestation of divine love and power that transcends all human limitations. Accept this truth. Words may fail, explanations may be insufficient, understandings may be limited, but the presence doesn't fail, is not insufficient, has no limits. The divine presence enveloping you now has all the power necessary to heal what has never been healed, restore what seemed unrecoverable, resurrect what was dead in your soul. The pain you've carried for so long will no longer define your life. The traumas that shaped your identity will no longer determine your future. The wounds that limited your potential will no longer restrict your destiny. The healing presence is rewriting your story, recreating your identity, redefining your purpose. Everything is being transformed at this moment. The miracle of inner healing is not something you need to tirelessly pursue. It's a gift you simply need to receive. Open your heart right now. Allow this presence to reach the most wounded places of your being. Let the healing power flow without impediments into your soul. Complete healing is your right, your inheritance, your reality from now on. Chosen one, an extraordinary spiritual phenomenon is happening around you at this exact moment. You are being completely surrounded by a supernatural love that transcends any human experience. And this is not a passing sensation or an abstract idea. It's a tangible spiritual reality that is transforming the atmosphere around you. For a long time, you sought love from sources that could only offer limited and conditional versions. Relationships that began with promises of forever, but that invariably revealed their imperfections and limitations. Connections that seemed deep at first, but that proved superficial when tested. Each experience left scars. Each disappointment reinforced the belief that true love might be just an unattainable concept. But now, as you receive these words, a love of a completely different nature is surrounding you. A love that knows no limits, that imposes no conditions, that doesn't tire, that doesn't regret, that doesn't abandon, that doesn't fail. This supernatural love is creating a force field around you, an impenetrable barrier against fear, rejection, loneliness, and abandonment. Visualize for a moment. This love is manifesting as concentric waves emanating from the center of the universe and converging exactly where you are. Layer after layer, wave after wave, this love is enveloping you with increasing intensity, filling every empty space, healing every wound, restoring every broken area of your being. This supernatural love has its own intelligence. It knows exactly what you need even before you ask. It perfectly understands your deepest insecurities, your most paralyzing fears, your most disturbing doubts, and responds to each of them with perfect precision, bringing exactly the right measure of peace, comfort, security, and affirmation. You are being surrounded by a love that is simultaneously gentle and powerful. Gentle enough not to break your fragile spirit, but powerful enough to destroy the fortresses of fear and self-deprecation that were built over decades. This love is operating in the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual dimensions simultaneously, bringing perfect alignment to your entire being. The manifestations of this supernatural love will be evident in the coming days. You'll notice an inexplicable peace in situations that previously caused anxiety. You'll feel an unshakable confidence in areas where insecurity always prevailed. You'll experience a deep joy, even in circumstances that would previously generate sadness. These are not temporary mood changes. They are permanent transformations that occur because you are immersed in this field of supernatural love. This love is restoring your capacity to give and receive affection. The barriers you erected to protect yourself from new disappointments are being dissolved. The fear of intimacy that kept you isolated is being replaced by a renewed courage for authentic connections. The distrust that poisoned promising relationships is giving way to a restored faith in the goodness of others. All this because the supernatural love surrounding you is healing the wounds that caused these dysfunctions. You don't need to seek this love. It has already found you. You don't need to earn it. It has already been given freely. You don't need to prove you're worthy. It has already declared your infinite value. This supernatural love is not a reward for your successes, but a gift despite your mistakes. It's not something you achieve through effort, but something you receive through surrender. The spiritual reality of this love surrounding you is more concrete than the ground beneath your feet, more constant than the air you breathe, more essential than the water that sustains your life. Even when you don't feel it, even when doubts arise, even when circumstances seem to contradict it, this love remains unshakable, unchanged, unfailing. In this field of supernatural love, miracles become common. Divine synchronicities happen daily. Doors that were locked open inexplicably, relationships that seemed irreparable are restored. Unexpected opportunities arise at the most unlikely moments. All this because the love surrounding you is reorganizing reality around you to align with your greater good. This love is redefining your identity. For a long time, you defined yourself by your failures, your wounds, your limitations. But the supernatural love surrounding you now is revealing a new truth. You are infinitely loved, intrinsically valuable, deliberately created with a unique purpose that no one else can fulfill. This revelation is replacing old lies with eternal truths at every level of your being. Accept this truth right now. You are being surrounded by a supernatural love that cannot be earned, cannot be lost, cannot be diminished, cannot be compromised by anything you do or fail to do. This love is your new reality, your new atmosphere, your new normal, and it is transforming everything around you at this exact moment. Chosen one, a transfer of power is happening in your life at this exact moment. The dominion that loneliness exercised over your emotions, your thoughts, your decisions, and your future is being completely broken because you have been enveloped by a presence more powerful than any force that has ever tried to control you. Loneliness wasn't just an emotion in your life, it was a prison, a relentless jailer that kept you isolated even when surrounded by people, a constant voice that convinced you that no one would ever understand you completely. An invisible weight that made every social interaction exhausting, every vulnerability risky, every connection fragile. This dominion was so deep that it shaped your personality. You developed elaborate defense mechanisms to protect your wounded heart. You learned to maintain superficial conversations to avoid any possibility of deep rejection. You built an external persona that seemed strong and self-sufficient, while inside you desperately yearned for genuine connection. But now, a new authority has been established in your life. An authority that doesn't dominate through fear, but liberates through love. A presence that doesn't oppress, but elevates. A power that doesn't subjugate, but empowers. This divine presence that has enveloped you has broken the chains of loneliness and declared your complete and irrevocable liberation. The transfer of power is instantaneous and total. The moment you accept this truth, the instant you recognize this new reality, the dominion of loneliness is completely nullified. It's not a gradual process that requires years of therapy or consistent spiritual practices. It's a supernatural liberation that happens in the spiritual realm and manifests in your human experience. Visualize this moment. The keys to your life are being transferred from the cold hands of loneliness to the loving hands of divine presence. The throne that loneliness occupied at the center of your being is being vacated, and a new authority is taking its rightful place. The flag of isolation that waved over your life is being lowered, and the flag of divine communion is being raised. You'll notice dramatic changes in the coming days. Thoughts of isolation that previously dominated your mind will lose their strength and frequency. The fear of rejection that paralyzed your social interactions will be replaced by an unshakable confidence in your complete acceptance. The anxiety that accompanied each attempt at genuine connection will give way to a deep peace that transcends understanding. This liberation from the dominion of loneliness will affect all areas of your life. Your relationships will flourish with an authenticity you've never experienced before. Your creativity will reach new heights, released from the restrictions of isolation. Your productivity will increase exponentially, free from the energy that was consumed by the constant management of loneliness. Your physical health will improve, relieved of the chronic stress that isolation produced.